What's going on, y'all? Back at it again. This is Connect Wednesdays, episode 37. The topic is going to be why being properly positioned in crypto matters. Um, Guys, this one is really going to be one of those episodes that is just going to be insightful. I wanted this to live um, because what's happening is there's still a lot of people who are not believers in cryptocurrency. There's still people who are under a rock. They literally live under the shade and they have no clue that the entire world is shifting and altering right under their noses, in front of their faces. Um, and we understand, you know what I mean? Because you just don't know what you don't know. So what we're gonna do is tonight, I'm rocking out alone. Steve has a message for you guys, so I'm gonna start Connect off with the message from him, and then we're gonna go into why being properly positioned in crypto actually matters. All right. So y'all give me one moment. Let me share my screen with you. Can everybody see this? All right, bet.
Yep.
I appreciate you.
Hope all is well, guys. And welcome to the Future of Finance, the long-awaited, updated futures course. Guys, just like the bootcamp course, this is going to be fully self-guided. We do have a live portion to this, and I'll go over it in a second. But you will have an online portal access. If you already have online portal access and you purchase this, it's going to be included in your login. So you'll be able to get to the course at any point. Okay. So right now, this is a pre-sale special that we're running for the first 20 people that purchase it. The current price for the course, it's a two-part course. The current price is $1,297. As an introductory price for pre-sale, we have lowered it to $597. So you're receiving $700 off this course, guys. Understand. This is the premier Future of Finance course that you're going to find on the market today. So unlike the first course, you're not only going to get the fundamentals, but you're going to get the technical analysis and charting this time around. So it's a dual course situation. We've also are working in conjunction with Crypto Cliff. He's going to be doing part 2 of the training, technical analysis and charting is going to be with Crypto Cliff. I've been building with this brother for a little bit, and he has a great style. I've trained with him. Amazingly patient, just a great guy. So we'll have an introduction message from him, prior to the course starting. So let's dig into what we're getting. So just so you understand, the course is actually launching December 6th, Monday, December 6th. So before then, we're going to open up the portal to the introduction, and then you'll get the second lesson is going to be all about the different websites and things that you'll need to set up accounts for, so that way you're prepared. Okay. Of course, our team, we're going to be adding Crypto Cliff to this, so his information will be up here soon. Part 1 is going to be taught by me. That's mastering the fundamentals. Guys, so we had to move over from KuCoin to MEXC. We're going to do the whole operation, what is futures, how to work the MEXC account, what everything means, how to read the indicators. I mean, you name it. I'm going to get you started with everything foundational, so that way when I pass you to Cliff, part 2, you've mastered the fundamentals. Okay. So part 1 is going to be the fundamentals. That's all pre-recorded. That's self-guided. Okay. Part 2, guys, now you get a live training included with this. So December 10th, the 17th, January 7th, and the 14th, you get a 4-week training hands-on with Crypto Cliff. These are Sundays, these dates, and then they're going to be at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. They will be pre-recorded. And then once a month, also included is going to be a Q&A session with Cliff for anyone that's taking the course. There's going to be, open time that you can come on if you have questions. If we need to add more days, we'll discuss that, and we'll make it happen depending on how many people. So with Cliff, what he's going to go over, and guys, this is the part that's important. So even though we give you the calls here, now you're going to be able to chart them. see how they're trending. You can even, Cliff is going to show you how to make your own calls, how to find your own plays using the different strategies and websites. So you'll learn everything from A to Z and how to fish for yourself. The calls that Skyton makes are still very much active, but this is the part that a lot of people wanted to learn was basically how to fish for themselves or check on particular calls that we make so you can know whether you're getting in at the right time or not. So Cliff's course is part 2 with Cliff is 4 weeks. It's going to be about 1 hour session each week, so you're about 4 hours. And some of them do go over a little bit depending on the amount of questions you guys have. So again, that's starting December 10th, and everyone that buys the pre-sale is going to be included in that training. If you miss a course, it's going to be pre-recorded, and you will get access to the link. After the course is done, all the links of the pre-record are going to be in your training course for you to be able to go back and just like anything else, it's a practice. You have to, put more time into it. So week 1, analyzing the markets, finding the right plays. Week 2, setting up double limit orders, profit maximization. Week 3, strategies for flip-flopping markets. And then the final week is loan utilization in cryptocurrency. So throughout this course, Cliff is going to show you 6 strategies, 6 indicator strategies, and to help you become a better trader in crypto futures. He has extensive history and background in trading futures. So he is also going to give you his top list of coins that you could, choose to only focus on, because those are the highest returning coins that have the most movement. And again, like anything, you're getting time in market with Cliff and I. And if we're, giving you our favorite coins, is for a particular reason, because we've already charted and know how these coins move day in and day out. Okay. So understand, December 6th, the part 1 of the course drops. December 10th is going to be your first day of class with Crypto Cliff. Do not worry. Everything has a playback, and we are here to support you with monthly Q&As. And then, you could always get inside the Discord. We'll have a channel in there. If you want to drop your questions, I could always assist with those. And Crypto Cliff would also answer a lot of your questions in the training group. I'm also going to create a futures training channel in Discord, so that way you guys can ask your questions, and then we'll be dropping reply videos in there to constantly give you guys the assistance. The first 20 people to purchase get $700 off. The course is going to then be discounted to $597. Let's get going, guys. December 10th, classes in session for part 2. In the technical, you'll have enough time to get through the fundamentals in part 1. All right. Appreciate you guys. Let's get it. The future of finance.
All right, guys. So Steve,
Are you a yoga or Pilates instructor?
Steve wanted to make sure
about making a difference to help people.
So Steve just jumped on. He is on the call right now. He called me mid-video. He just wanted to make sure he dropped that for you guys. Steve, you want to talk to him?
Yeah, just real quick. So guys, I have another commitment coming up, so I had to prepare for it. I want a champ to kind of open up with that. Listen, we're halfway sold out to 20 spots. So, after that, we're just going to fall back because we got to go through the live training first. So the first session of the technical and charting is going to be live. I'm not guaranteeing that that's going to happen again, but all of it's going to be pre-recorded. Every month, Crypto Cliff and I are going to get on and do Q&As. We're setting up a private Discord channel for anybody that purchases. You'll be put in that channel, and that's where we'll start to communicate. So if there's any issues or questions, things you guys are struggling with, you could ask your questions in there, and then we'll do we'll do video responses, or if we have to do any sort of technical videos to assist, we'll do those. So you have, I'm telling you, this first group, guys, this is going to be special. Yeah, I just wanted to get on really real quick here. Listen, price of everything is going up, everything but salaries at this point now. You have to find ways to creatively create new income. There's times where I use trading for like just odds and ends shit, haircuts, get on, make $50, go out. Like literally, you can offset your whole salary if you wanted to. So Crypto Cliff being a little bit deeper on the technical side, he does the one-on-ones with the hand holding that everybody was asking for. So he's able to get a different type of end result with a lot of his guys. And he's, there's been people working full-time that have stopped and they're full-time traders now. I'm in this group. I've been analyzing them for a while. This brother is solid. I've seen the numbers. I've entered the plays with him. I took the training myself, in the mornings with Cliff, just to make sure, it took a while, guys. I went through a lot of people before I got to this point here. So this isn't one of those. And, we've never really given you anybody outside of me and Champ to teach you something, outside of like Andre, our insurance guy. We do have some supplemental guys, but when it comes down to crypto, it's different. We've never teamed up with somebody in cryptocurrency. So that tells you a lot about who, the character of who we're bringing to the table. And like I said, we're here for you guys along the way too. The goal for this group is really to introduce you guys to the future of finance. I would say by Q1 next year, those Bitcoin ETFs, they're gonna go. And at that point, this is when these guys become market makers. So the ETF is going to lead to, we already have future spots. There's already future ETFs already approved by the SEC. So that's done. That's been here. But these guys, they want the spots first, because once you can have the spots, you control the coins. Now you can become market makers on the future side. So there's no point in them creating future ETFs right now. It's pointless. They want to get the investors in first, and then they're going to go up against the market. So we're going to be facing some real big money in these markets. They're probably going to only really play Bitcoin. But like you said, once the money starts to flow into Bitcoin, it'll affect every other project. So listen, let's get it, man. Let's not be dumb. And I say that with love. And then the last thing is FX1 Sports, guys. It's 2X since we gave it to you. And that was on a Strategy Sunday call. So if you're not in the VIP and you're not getting these early calls, so we'll end up, at some point we talk about it on Instagram and all that, but it's already almost 300% by the time we release that. So that's going to be Champ's flow moving forward is and how we present spots to you guys early on. Champ's also going to host a masterclass on how to find spots, how to analyze. We have a few new sites that we're collecting data from. So guys, the news is heating up. If you've never been through a bull run before, I want to say the last really good one. 2020, we had a good one. 2017 was a great one, right? That probably was one of the best, but every single bull run has been faced with some type of black swan event. So I don't think the Bitcoin ETFs get approved until stablecoin regulation or something wrapped around stablecoins. They have to get Tether out the way, and they know it. Mm-hmm. They know it for a fact. Like Tether cannot, there's no institutional guy that even feels comfortable knowing what they know about the space of cryptocurrency. And Champ's been telling you this 2 years ago. So, I hate to sound like a broken record, but we've been telling you everything that's happening right now. The difference between this bull run for Champ and I, and for you guys, is we've never been part of a bull run that had any institutional guys involved with it, ever. So if we hit 3.5 trillion, guys, I'm telling you, when they talk about a tsunami of money coming into cryptocurrency, you do not want to miss profits on this one. This ain't one of those where you just sit back. This is why we're giving you guys these spot calls that are going to go 2, 3, 4, 5, 1,000%. So that way you can liquidate those, make some money. And then on your long-term bags, I'd sit tight a little bit. You know what I'm saying? If you got to take something, then you could sacrifice a little something. But in the Strategy Sundays, we'll start to introduce you guys to, how to set up your portfolio. We'll talk about Uniswap, the, decentralized exchanges. That's another big one, guys. This is where you buy the projects at the 0.00000 whatever. And by the time they come to market and Coinbase, forget it. You're talking about 10, 15 cents at that point. So these are the stories you hear about when guys are like, they turned 100 to 10,000 or 15,000. Mm-hmm. That's what we're catching right now at the top of the year. And we've already delivered a few of those plays to you guys already. And that's fact. You could go back and check all the Champ spots, go back and check the spots that I gave you guys, look at the dates that we gave them to you, and look at the current prices now. There's no way that somebody would not be up on FX1 Sports right now. Impossible. Compete, same thing. Impossible for you to not to be in if you executed when we said to execute. And it's still not too late for the plays. That's the crazy part about these spots. The integration hasn't even begun yet, guys. Yeah. Keep your eyes open. Champ will cover this probably. The healthcare company Ardent, cyber warfare, ransomware. They shut down the entire hospital. They're moving people from emergency rooms to emergency rooms. Like it's getting nasty out here, guys. But we told you this before. You had the MGM casino prior to that. All summer they were just killing Vegas. They were knocking off the casinos Here's one for you. Casino coin, CSC.
Ooh.
Yeah, take that one.
Whoa.
And I'm telling you, because when this stuff happened to the casinos, they were already integrating blockchain technology within their systems now. Now it's a matter of just shifting everything and then just making it all a go. Guys, this gaming industry is going to take off way before the metaverse. Understand that. The gaming industry is going to take off before the metaverse. The gambling industry is going to take off before the metaverse. Those are the next two biggest sectors right now. And we got those coins pegged. Just get in the VIP. Just trust me. Like, you don't want to miss out on this one.
Yeah, it's about to be go time.
Yeah, listen, get the 12-month and sit on it, right? Because all of 2024 is probably going to be the biggest year of cryptocurrency that we're going to see outside of like 2030. You're not going to see another run like this again at all. This is when people get priced out. This is when, choke point is going to be hard to purchase. Mm-hmm. It's going to be hard to do anything in crypto at this point. So it's going to suck for people on the sideline who aren't going to be able to buy these projects because of all types of craziness that's going to go on. Champ, take it away. Guys, love y'all. Thanks for the support. Don't be dumb. That's what love.
Let's get it. Don't be dumb. T-shirts on the way.
I'm out.
My God, appreciate you.
Rock 'em, man. Love you, brother.
Love you more. Let's go. Let's get it.
Yeah, we getting split up tonight. I got to rock another crowd, so I'm giving my attention to some other people tonight. But it makes for a bigger community, guys. So I'm not leaving y'all. He's the better guy anyway.
Oh, cut it out.
I'm dead serious. Don't be dumb.
Listen, he just gave y'all a super gem, and he just
popped his head casino coin, CSC.
Whoa.
Okay. Whoa. Champ will break that one down for y'all too.
Word. Nah, I got it.
But just do your research. I'm not saying go all in and buy it. Just do your research. And I'm just saying MGM Grand Casino Group, Casino Coin, connect those dots.
Wicked.
Champ, love you.
Love you more, bro. Rock them out.
You know it.
All right, y'all. So let's get into it without further ado. So he just blessed y'all with a spot call. That CSC project is fire. We'll get into that at a later time, but I gotta drive this point home. Make sure you guys get in the VIP Discord. The reason being is we're turning up the spots. Two, he's showing you guys that there's multiple things of value that are coming out of the VIP group. So all the beginners, who hear this, not necessarily everybody on this call, but people in general, if you are in the beginners and you have yet to step your foot into the VIP arena, you definitely do not want to miss out what we're about to gear up and do. All right, so it's going to be an influx of spots. We're going to have a bunch more live classes, live calls, things like that. And I'm going to give you guys the champ sauce. You know what I mean? I'm the data person, so I'm gonna actually show you guys in a real live masterclass. I'm gonna show you guys how I research projects, how I find those gems, those spots that are 10x, 15x, 50x, 100x, etc. Right? Not financial advice, but those of you who've been here, you know how I give it up, and especially when it's Steve diving in, giving spots as well. It's just the best of both worlds with us. So make sure y'all got that. And with the futures course, I'm seeing the orders come through. Keep it up, guys. He said it's the first 20. I don't have the ability to change it. And I know we're already at about 12 or 13. So if you're interested, you might want to go ahead and make that transaction happen. Wayne, hit me after the call. Let me share my screen with you guys. All right, can you guys see? You guys can see the screen right now? Somebody give me a thumbs up. Got it. Appreciate you. All right, so first things first. The reason for this call is why being properly positioned in crypto matters. The reason it matters is because once you're here and you're in the space, you are going to see so many opportunities. There's going to be so many times that you guys can plus up your bags. You can set yourself up for real wealth, right? And then you can turn around and use that same info and those same profits and diversify. I'm telling you guys, this is it. I had to let this live. This call is extremely important because there are still people who do not feel like crypto is a viable thing, right? So I'm going to walk you guys through the gamut. First things first is BlackRock CEO, Mr. Larry Fink. So this particular summit that he was at, this was the Deal Book Summit. And Larry Fink, this is the CEO of BlackRock, for those of you who do not know. In this particular talk, he was talking about ESG investing. So what ESG investing is environmental, social, governance investing. So these are three different categories where they impact everybody, but mostly the retail investor. And there's businesses that position their products to be able to service us as the retail investors. So when you have these big businesses, right? These big behemoths, these Goliaths, when they're in these spaces, what they're doing is they're setting you up to position yourself to either catch the wave or you miss it. Either way, you're going to support it, right? So they don't care after you initially miss it as a retail investor. They pretty much don't care because at that point, it's all on you. So if you miss the wave, you miss it. But what you're not going to miss is being a consumer, because these guys are the businesses. These are the businesses that's helping you, that's assisting you. They're putting you in the way of their product. And BlackRock, you guys already know what they do. You know what they own. These guys damn near own everything. 10 trillion under assets, under management. So without further ado, I want you guys to watch this clip. I'm not going to play the whole thing because it's 24 minutes, but this is about 2 or 3 minutes. I want you guys to listen clearly what he tells you. And if you miss it, I'm going to point it out for you.
Find a taxi sooner, but I actually believe it's going to be much more in hard science, and it's going to require a lot more technical understanding.
Has this changed your view of crypto at all? You now have a deal with Coinbase, and yet you were always sort of also, I think, a bit of a skeptic of all of this.
Oh, I actually believe most of the companies are not going to be around. I still believe that. I do believe
because they're now real, they're frauds, they're what?
Well, I mean, think about FTX. I mean, you can look back now. FTX created its failure was it's creating its own token. It was not a DeFi. It wasn't a ledger that was open to the world. It was a closed ledger.
Right.
It was not distributed. So the whole foundation of what crypto is, it's supposed to be a distributed ledger that is across the system. I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of a huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, well, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in an ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities.
Come on.
We will, and if we can have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem. You don't need trust banks.
But does that disrupt you eventually? Because you are custodying all of these assets.
No, we're not a custodian. We're not, we use third-party custodians in everything we do.
In everything you do?
We're not a custodian bank.
So your goal, by the way, I don't think that he was technically a custodian either, which is a separate issue.
I think they were. I don't know if there was a real custodian in that closed ledger, but that's a whole other story. You should ask him that question. No, I mean, the transformation, think about it, instantaneous settlement, bonds and stocks. No middlemen, we're going to bring down fees even more dramatically. As for me, I don't have to vote on any shares anymore because the beneficial owner will do all the voting. They'll have it.
And that's where I want to go with this conversation.
Okay, I knew I was going to take you there.
Thank you.
All right, so listen, guys, if you did not catch that, One, yes, instant settlement. There is not many people who catch that gem. Instant or atomic settlement is something that one of my favorite cryptocurrency projects does, and they do it exceptionally well. They are unmatched, point blank period. There is no other cryptocurrency that does what they do, right? They found their niche, they found the problem in the world, and they set out to solve it. That is XRP, all right? But also, the main gem I wanted y'all to catch inside that talk was the next opportunity is the tokenization of assets. So now that we're talking about tokenization, what exactly is tokenization? So I'll break it down real quick, financial terms, real layman, right? Tokenization is when they're going to take everything of value and they are going to put it on a blockchain, and they are going to make an equivalent of whatever that asset is in a digital token. So you're going to now transact the same way that you've been doing for the past 100, 200, 300 years. Now they're going to revolutionize it. They're going to make it faster, more efficient, more transparent, and they're going to make it easier for everybody to transact. And everybody's going to be able to see this. So how they're going to do this is they're going to put it on a blockchain. So everybody who sits back thinking, oh, crypto is a joke, crypto is a scam, crypto is not going to be here, you're sadly mistaken, right? Because the rest of the world is literally adapting to this new innovative method of transacting in commerce. Tokenization. Your homes, gold, commodities, gold, silver, platinum, palladium, diamonds, anything that you can think of that has value, it's going to be transacted on the blockchain. Now, what exact blockchain and ecosystem that these things become part of, that's something you guys are going to have to do your research on. I actually have a bunch of coins. I won't give them on this call just because some of those projects are actually 1% coins, but there's an actual tokenized sector, and there's projects and ecosystems that are innovating the way that people are going to be able to tokenize things of value and transact them. All right, let me share my screen again. We're going to get into this. All right, so who you just saw was Larry Fink. Larry Fink is the CEO of BlackRock. What did BlackRock just do? So BlackRock filed for the Bitcoin ETF. And here's the thing. Right now, what I'm doing for you guys is I'm connecting all of the crypto data points to what these big behemoths are doing. I'm connecting the dots for you. This is .connect fashion, right? So what's the name of this company right here? Coinbase. What is Coinbase going to serve as? The crypto custodian. What does this mean? This means that BlackRock, once they have the spot ETF fully approved, everything is active, this means retail investors, businesses, whomever, big enterprises, governments, whomever wants to have exposure to a cryptocurrency asset but not actually physically hold it in their possession, they're going to be able to go through Coinbase, and Coinbase is going to actually hold those assets for them. So they still get the benefits, once the price appreciates of whatever cryptocurrency that they're holding on behalf of that entity. And they don't have to worry about, oh, did I properly store this? Oh, did I put this on my cold storage? Oh, let me send this from this cold storage to this cold storage. It eliminates that process. So when you have custodians, and you have custodians that are also cryptocurrency exchanges, what does that tell you? That in itself should tell you that these guys are setting the table for anybody who wants to be invested, who wants to pour in capital, big or small. They can do so and still not have to assume 100% of the risk of mishandling that cryptocurrency asset. Now, when I say this, right, the first thing that I kind of harp on is the retail investor. I'm fond of the people, right? I'm big on how people are going to receive this information, how they're going to transact, how they're going to utilize and position themselves properly. But let me put that on pause for a second. Think about these big dogs: JP Morgan, Citibank, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, HSBC, Vanguard, BlackRock. These guys are behemoths. These guys have billions and trillions of dollars at their disposal. They're waiting on the sidelines, and they have been here in this industry for many years, awaiting for regulations, awaiting for the moment that the switch gets flipped and they feel like it's safe to pour in. And I'm talking about, they're going to dump trillions of dollars, trillions, into this industry, this emerging market, cryptocurrency. So everybody sitting on the sidelines, twiddling their thumbs, thinking you have a whole bunch of time, you're sadly mistaken. These guys have been here since 2016, 2017, 18. They've seen how the market reacted to a bull run that was all speculative. And the one thing that Steve pointed out was, we never had big institutional guys be able to pour in trillions of dollars. The cryptocurrency market cap has only been max 3 trillion. I'll give y'all some data points. So, all right. So now that I talked about BlackRock, Aladdin, JP Morgan, right? Let me show you guys the potential of what this means, right? And I'm going to give you guys numbers, because numbers matter. So again, I just told you 3 trillion was the maximum market cap that we've had for cryptocurrency. We've seen Bitcoin go to 60,000. We saw Ethereum shoot up. We saw all the rest of the cryptocurrency projects all shoot up, because everything is married to Bitcoin, right? Until things decouple. Look at this key point. So this says the 5 trillion future of Wall Street. This is how big banks like JP Morgan and Citi want to put Wall Street on the blockchain. Man, this gets me excited. $5 trillion in assets could be tokenized within the next 5 years. It's 2023 right now, the end of 2023. This article came out July 26, 2023. 5 years, count it out. That's 2028, right? So in between 2025 and 2030, you're going to see such an influx of capital that's going to come from these big dogs on Wall Street, these Fortune 500 companies with trillions of dollars, already valued at trillions of dollars. They're going to pour so much capital into this market. And on top of that, the one thing that everybody has to focus on, again, is tokenization. With tokenization, this is where everybody's friction, the one thing that everybody is experiencing, right? How can I break this down and make this super layman? Okay, so you have people who own assets, houses. Let's focus in on real estate with this one. So if you have a company who owns a ton of real estate and they need access to capital, but they need access to capital fast and now, what would they have to do? They would have to liquidate their assets and wait for the money to settle, wait for the transactions to go through. You would have to find buyers. You would have to pay off middlemen. There's so much that has to happen, right? It's not just as easy as just dumping a house, right? Even with big companies, anybody who's a homeowner, you guys know, you understand, you know the process, right? So imagine a company who has thousands of properties, but they need to liquidate all of them because they need access to, let's say, $10 billion or $100 billion, something of that nature, right? You have to wait and go through so many different points and positions that by the time you actually settle the transaction and you get your money that you need, you may have missed countless opportunities. So that is a big, big problem when it comes to commerce and when it comes to big businesses. That's why everybody always talks about liquidity. Liquidity is having the access to capital free flowing instantaneously. Everything is about right now. You need your money to move at the speed of information. I can send anybody on this call a message and almost instantaneously you'll get it. That's how they have to have money flowing. And right now that's not happening. So all of these companies are all coming together and they're starting to see the benefits of crypto and blockchain. So what they're doing is they're coming in and they're positioning themselves in this emerging market, and they're partnering up with certain blockchains and cryptocurrency projects because these cryptocurrency projects are solving the problem that they're experiencing. And one thing I know about the banks always win. It doesn't matter what the dynamic, what the situation is. Whenever they want something to happen, they're going to make it happen. So when I see things like this and I see big companies saying tokenization is it, the tokenization of assets is the next thing on the horizon, it's the next opportunity, that sends my radars up. Anybody who is on this call, you guys are already wise because you know what's to come. I'm only adding icing to the cake. You already got the contents. We've done this multiple times, right? On different occasions. This .connect was important to me because not everybody has the vision to see an actual opportunity. A lot of people are so engulfed and immersed in the day-to-day, what they have to do, what they're missing, what they don't have, what they're trying to get to, right? There's so many factors and people are almost like walking around blindly. You can tell somebody that there's $100 over here in an envelope somewhere. But if somebody is not paying attention or they don't have the vision and they're not like kind of frazzled with a million other things going on in their brain at one time, they're going to miss it. So the same thing comes with things like this, except for this time, this one is going to hurt the most. So everybody who is not invested in cryptocurrency, when you missed the release of Bitcoin, 2009, right? Bitcoin went from 0.006 of a penny to $1. Then it went to $10. Then it went to $100. Then it went to $1,000. Then it went to $10,000. It retraced after it left 10. It went to maybe 5,000, I believe it went. Then it went to 20,000. Came back down to 5 again. Now, right now, Bitcoin is at 37,000. We went all the way up to almost 70, right? And not only was it just Bitcoin, it was almost every cryptocurrency project that existed seen appreciation. So what I'm trying to tell you guys is if you're properly positioned, all the people who seen the vision from the jump and they bought Bitcoin at 0.006 of a penny, or they bought them at a dollar or whatever the case was, anytime there was a low entry, they seen the vision. And they purchased however much they needed to, and they held it. From inception, 2009, when it was released to everybody, all the way to 2017, it hit $20,000. Those type of gains per coin is pure insanity. So if you're a person that's not paying attention to opportunity and you're not doing the research, you're not being open to receive these type of data points, you're going to miss it every time. So I'm telling you guys right now on this call, November 29th, it is 7:48 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm telling you, if you never heard of tokenization and you don't know what tokenization is, this is the call you need to watch. This is where you need to start. All of your data digging and your deep dives, it all should start from here. I told you what it was, and I'm now showing you big companies that are already talking about it and they're positioning themselves to capitalize off this. So if you don't capitalize, that's on you, because I'm telling you what's happening. All right. So, all right, boom. Now you see JP Morgan and Citi, they're talking about 5 trillion in assets. And this is an estimate, right? 5 trillion in the next 5 years. So we're talking about by 2028. So this was talked about in this report that came out in June of 2023, right, by Mr. Bernstein. So I had the report, I reviewed it, I looked it over, and basically what he was saying was that there's so many assets that exist in the world that you would be foolish to not partake in this technology, because it's going to save you so much money, it's going to save you so much time, it's going to eliminate friction. When you eliminate friction, you free up extra capital. That extra capital is going to allow you to be able to invest in things instantaneously that is going to make your company or yourself more profitable. That is what business is all about. Point blank, period. It's all about profitability. So anytime that there's something that exists that companies can partake in, this is what will allow you to increase your profits. And that's what they focus on. Companies will cut corners, but they most importantly, they just want to be more efficient so that they can make more money. And tokenization is going to be the way that they're going to do it, because what's going to happen also is that a lot of people aren't talking about it. It's not just commodities. This is going to be money we're talking about. We're talking about actual money that is going to be tokenized, and then is going to be utilized with stable coins, or eventually they're talking about this now. I don't know how soon this is going to be a thing, but they're trying to get people to utilize CBDCs. You guys know our stance on CBDCs. So, that's that. So Bernstein, again, this was Bernstein talking about the tokenization opportunity is going to be 5 trillion by 2028. And they're talking about it's going to be led by stable coins and CBDCs, private market funds, securities, and real estate. Not only that, this is the key component to this.
Can you take your hands off your face? Because I don't want your hands are gonna be dirty.
So the key point of that is currency tokenization via stablecoins and central bank digital currencies will see an application of on-chain deposits and payments, with about 2% of global money supply to be tokenized over the next 5 years. That in itself is $3 trillion. That's where we were at with the all-time high in the market cap for cryptocurrency. So just with this one move, and we're talking about just 2% of the global money supply, is going to take us back to the 3 trillion mark. And this is all coming into crypto. This is what you have to realize. I know this is a lot of data, and if anybody is on a call, am I making sense? Is this registering to you guys? Let me know.
Very much so. Very much so.
So
Definitely.
This is what I'm trying to get people to understand. If you have 2% of the global money supply, crypto is global. Crypto is not just domestic. It is not for just the United States. This industry is worldwide. And we're talking about tokenizing 2% of the global money supply in the next 5 years. You know how fast 5 years comes? On top of that, that doesn't mean that institutions, banks, fintechs, governments are just big enterprises with big bank accounts. You already have big governments who are already using cryptocurrency. Once the volume starts to increase and the amount of transactions begin to increase, once you get more efficiency and people start seeing, whoa, I just sent $1 billion in a matter of 3 seconds and it made it from point A to point B in 3 seconds, and it cost me $100, or it cost me $5, or it cost me $10. It's mind-blowing, because these guys right now are using other sources and other means that are the traditional route. And these guys are paying millions of dollars for transactions like that. And for those who are here thinking that only Bitcoin is going to be what these institutions are going after, you're sadly mistaken. I want to bring up this case in point before I go on to the next thing. There was a Bitcoin transaction that just happened. I shot a video on this. This was appalling. It was a $5 million transaction. It was approximately 183 Bitcoin. So that was the equivalent of $5 million. The transaction on the Lightning Network cost the person $3 trillion. And the only reason that fee was 3 trillion, that's the record. That's the highest fee ever to exist, right? For a cryptocurrency transaction. It was more than 50% of what they were trying to transact. Now, the crazy part about that is the only reason that fee was that high was because at the time there was an NFT project that was going on, and there was a lot of activity on the network. So because there's a thing called conjunction, when there's a lot of people that are on in congestion, when there's a lot of people that's on the network at one time and they're trying to perform transactions, these miners, they have to validate the transactions. So Bitcoin transactions are already slow. But on top of that, when there's a lot of people on the network trying to transact, they prioritize whoever's paying the most for the fees because it's a job, it's a task for the miners to validate those transactions. Just that day alone cost this one person who had a $5 million transaction, $3 million. So we don't know 100% if what one of the miners, if they see it and they say, you know what, I'll just do what's right and I'll go ahead and refund them. So that way this type of fee just doesn't live on a blockchain forever. But for you to experience that and everybody to be able to see that and that become world news, that should let you know in itself that it's not just going to be Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is not going to be efficient enough to handle the load, these type of transactions that happen. The network is not that expansive yet. It's not efficient. So there are new and emerging cryptocurrencies and ecosystems that exist that do the same thing and allow transactions, but they're handling 1,500 transactions per second, 10,000 transactions per second, and they're doing it at micro fees. So when you think of tokenization, don't just settle in when you start to hear things like Larry Fink talk about the Bitcoin Trust and the Bitcoin ETF, because what they're going to do is they just want their hands on this stuff. Part of tokenization is going to be the tokenization of securities. So you're going to have cryptocurrencies, you're going to have futures trading. All of those things are going to be built out and they're all going to be tokenized. So guys, the opportunity is there. But if you don't understand what you're looking at or looking for, you're going to miss it every single time. All right. So on this particular article, right, that you guys are looking at on screen, it came out October 11th of this year. So JP Morgan, of course, one of the behemoths, JP Morgan talks about how they debuted tokenized BlackRock shares as collateral with Barclays. So here's the key for this article. BlackRock said tokenization of money market fund shares as collateral in clearing and margining transactions would dramatically reduce the operational friction in meeting margin calls. Again, hello, I'm telling y'all, I'm putting y'all on game. When we're talking about friction is about how money moves, the blockages that they experience, right? How many mountain holes that they have to climb over in order to facilitate a transaction or to get something done, right? Nobody wants to continuously go through hell to make a transaction happen, especially when you are going to be the front runner of something. These guys are getting in early because they know tokenization is not only right now, they know what's about to happen. So BlackRock through Aladdin is custodying. BlackRock with Coinbase is allowing institutions to be able to self-custody through Coinbase as a custodian. So now they can pour trillions of dollars in, they don't have to hold it. And then now you have JP Morgan's Ethereum-based blockchain, which was Onyx. A lot of people don't know that. Right now, they are colluding with Barclays, the bank, to tokenize assets and shares for money market accounts. This is all over the counter. Over the counter means this is where everybody, retail investors, you, me, businesses, everybody can come and we can all transact over the counter in one centralized location. So if the businesses are going to be there, if governments are going to be there, if you have these big giants, JP Morgan, Citi, BlackRock, Coinbase, etc., if you have all of these guys that are going to be able to transact in an open market, why can't you? Does that mean you guys are going to be excluded? Absolutely not. You are the retail. When they say over the counter, this means they come into your arena. They're coming to your backyard. You gonna let them eat all the food and you starve? I know I'm not. And I hope nobody else on this call does either, because this is huge. So we're talking about Citi and JP Morgan and BlackRock, all in the arena of tokenizing things, and they're going to make their money off this stuff. You'd be playing yourself to think that the rest of the world wasn't going to conform to this, because this is what is going to improve efficiency. This is going to make everybody more money. But if you miss this opportunity, you're just going to miss it. You're just going to be a user, and they're going to keep feeding you products that you're going to spend your money on instead of you positioning yourself properly in cryptocurrency and in different ecosystems that solve real world problems. Because these are the things that are going to enrich you. All right. So I want to fast forward to something. So with this particular company, Grayscale is the world's leading crypto asset manager by assets under management. They have right now, see, I got a couple notes because I want to make sure I got all this stuff right for you guys. So right now, I think they have $19 billion under management. And people don't understand when it comes to Grayscale, what Grayscale actually does. They basically transform old, antiquated technologies and they adopt new, innovative technologies that are going to basically 100% change the way we do business, not just domestically, but around the world. And what they're doing is they're leveraging these technologies for things like identity systems, so digital IDs, digital artwork. We're talking about NFTs, file storage, decentralized finance, so the ability to get access to capital and loans quick without having to go to a middleman or an intermediary like a bank. You can do this all through crypto. We're talking about community-run applications, dApps, gaming platforms, betting platforms, all of this. So Grayscale is key. And Grayscale just put out a report. Inside the report, it's about different crypto sectors and how they're going to set the standard for this particular asset class. One thing I wanted to point out, again, people still are living under a rock and they think cryptocurrency is a joke. They think crypto is a scam. They see the bad news that gets spread, right? The misinformation. And then they miss stuff like this. So the industrial revolutions that happened, first was mechanical. Then you had mass production. Then you had the digital revolution. That's what we're in still currently right now, right? So this started in the 90s. until now. And this is the emergence of computers, internet, social media, text, email, things like that. AOL, instant messaging, all of that. Now we are in the more mature phase of innovation, right? And this is how cryptocurrency, blockchain technology, the Internet of Things, AI, right? This is where all of this stuff gets created and it emerges. You had so much time to, well, our parents did, right? Our parents had so much time and opportunity to get in before the dot-com era. But my parents didn't, right? I can't speak for nobody else on this call, but I know my parents didn't. My parents missed it. My parents were working class people. They focused on making sure that they had the means to take care of us. That was it. That was their focus. So they weren't into investing in diversifying and doing things like that, right? But here in the world of information, we get introduced to so much info and we have so many opportunities that come and go daily. None like this. The reason being is because in cryptocurrency, we have so many cryptos that exist. Many of them are going to die, but being in the space, being knowledgeable, knowing about the various sectors and how you can position yourself and start investing in certain projects that solve real world problems, that are partnered with big behemoths like IBM, Amazon, you know, the list just goes on and on. Apple, you get the point, right? But they solve a real world problem. Me, I realized a wealthy family has to come from me because I didn't come from a wealthy family. And the way that you do that is you seize opportunity. So as I read this article, it was really insightful because what it was doing was it was telling you how there were so many stages in life where you had the opportunity to get wealthy, to get rich, but only a few, the 1%, they invested, they used whatever means that they had, and they positioned themselves properly. Now that we're here in the fourth industrial revolution, this is going to be the one that changes everything, because this is the one where you're never going to get a boom like this ever again. Because what's going to happen is all of these institutions are going to pour so much money in here. They're going to position themselves. Every time the market dips and you guys sell, what they're going to do is they're going to buy it. They're going to buy it right from up under you. So every time you panic sell, you get nervous and have paper hands and you sell, they're going to swoop right in, right on these exchanges, and they're going to buy it. Then it's going to get to a point where you have what's called choke point 2.0, right? That's what we're experiencing. You have exchanges that exist, but these exchanges keep getting shut down for various reasons, right? Some of them are functionally insolvent. They don't have the money to keep up with the demand or to facilitate transactions. They can't cash people out. So when people have cryptocurrencies on their exchanges, they allow hacks to happen, right? And when hacks happen, people lose money. But there's no regulations right now. So they are not mandated to pay you back and give you your money. So when you lose it, you lose it. That's why we tell you, not your keys, not your cheese. But that's for another day. These guys are going to pour so much bread in here. It's going to literally cancel everybody out. So when choke point happens, choke point just basically means there's going to be different exchanges that shut down. It's going to eliminate substantially the ways that you guys can go and purchase these cryptocurrency assets. Because right now they're telling you what they're doing. They're showing you that there's other cryptocurrencies that exist, that they're utilizing. And if you don't get them, you're going to miss out. So I'm going to show you just a couple. So crypto products, this is Grayscale. This is on their website. This is some of their products. And you remember I told you, Grayscale, they allow investors to have exposure to these digital assets without actually having to navigate the buying, the storing, the safekeeping, and all that good stuff. So you have basic attention token, You have Bitcoin Cash Trust, Bitcoin, Chainlink, Decentraland, Digital Large Cap Fund. You have the Grayscale Ethereum Classic, Ethereum, Filecoin, Horizon, Litecoin, LivePeer, Solana, Zcash, Stellar. So there's a lot of cryptocurrency projects that they're already working with. One of them is not here because one of them is currently still, quote unquote, in litigation. But I say all that to say this. Grayscale, which I just showed you, considers XRP a strong contender for cross-border payments. If you know, like I know, cross-border payments is it. Cross-border payments is where all the money flows. And we're talking about globally. We're talking about moving money at the speed of light all throughout the day, 24 hours. It never ceases. And if Grayscale, who's already showing you that they deal with institutions and they're giving them this exposure, if they're already telling them what they see for the future of something, I think this is worthy of somebody paying attention to it. Because they're telling you, hello, what's going on? They already had a partnership and a trust. They already had them listed back in 2021. 2021 or 2019. And because of the lawsuit, they removed it. But now, even with the case still going on, it's wrapping up. And they know that Swift is who we use right now for all transactions, right? They know XRP does cross-border payments and remittances and settlement atomically. They know that Swift cannot handle the transactions anymore. It's old, it's antiquated. It's causing too many problems for everybody, specifically the banks. So they're telling you, hey, we already see other cryptocurrency projects and ecosystems that allow us to do what we need to do, and we're going to make a ton of money off of it, whether you're on board or not, or whether you're paying attention or not. So I just wanted to lay that out, right? Because outside of just Bitcoin, people always think crypto is just central to Bitcoin, and it's not. There's a ton of other projects that these big institutional guys are diving into, and they are making available to everybody. So it's up to you to catch the wave. All right. Now the next thing, this just came across my palette, right? It talks about 15 countries ditch the US dollar for oil trade. For those of you who know, you know. If you don't know, BRICS is Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. Now we have BRICS Plus. BRICS Plus is the extension or the expansion of all of the core BRICS members. And these are all countries who were tired of being subjected to tariffs, extra taxes, embargoes, and all things like that the US was kind of laying on them, and they had no choice but to accept it, because the deal was the US dollar was the global reserve currency, and that's what you had to use if you wanted to transact oil or things globally, right? You had to use the dollar. What BRICS did was BRICS moved away from the dollar, and BRICS is now doing they're doing settlement in local currencies, sidestepping the US dollar. What this is called is de-dollarization. Anytime a country that wants to move away from the dollar, it's called de-dollarization. You have to understand that de-dollarization is going to be the killer, because now it's showing you that other cryptocurrencies and other countries are going to be using blockchain, distributed ledger, cryptocurrencies to transact, because what's going to happen is everybody is not going to want to use each other's local currencies. It's going to come to a point where the dollar is just another thing, right? It's going to be a thing of the past. But so are their local currencies. So what are they going to transact with? Crypto. Man, I don't know. I don't know if can y'all hear me? Can y'all feel me out there? Because this right here, this is it. So everybody that's here, if you focus and you got your mind right, you're literally positioning yourselves to be multimillionaires. These cryptocurrency projects are here for a purpose. And now you have countries who are using it. We're talking about 15 different countries that's part of BRICS Plus that's ditching the dollar. They no longer want to use it. Insane. All right. Anybody got anything they want to add before I move on? Because I'm gonna open the floor for y'all in a second. So anybody who might have questions, anything like that, y'all let me know. Here's something I wanted to add. So this was about BRICS, right? BRICS has this thing called the Journal of Economics. This came out in 2020, right? So I was just trying to figure out, all right, the type of value that we can bring to people is showing them real world cases where you have countries who are literally trying to adopt new technologies like crypto so that we can just completely dead this whole narrative that crypto is a scam, that crypto doesn't really exist, it's a joke, the dollar's not going anywhere, things like that, right? So this particular journal that they release is on de-risking and de-dollarizing intra-BRICS trade via smart contracts. The crazy thing about this, in the report, they didn't mention Ethereum. So when they didn't mention Ethereum was where smart contracts derive from. But you know what they did mention? Ripple. You know what they did mention? Distributed ledger technology. You know what they did mention? The XRP ledger. Because what's going to happen is these countries are all going to need a place to transact, and they know that Ethereum is almost like it's still in beta testing. There's so many people who built projects on Ethereum, but Bitcoin and Ethereum were like beta coins. They were the first ones to come out. They were like the test projects. But ever since then, people noticed that there were so many pitfalls and there were so many negatives that were associated with these projects, and they just can't facilitate what needs to be done. And everything is about settlement atomically, instantaneously. So in this report, see it right here. Funds needed to execute the contract and temporarily pre-stored in a linked virtual escrow-like account associated with the contract to guarantee fund availability at the time of execution. XRP Ledger 2020. This is 2020. We're in 2023 right now. These guys have been planning this. They've been telling you trade finance, smart contracts, foreign exchange, de-dollarization. This is not new. Blockchain, currency swaps, they're telling you what needs to happen. I hope y'all listening. I truly hope y'all listening. Now, that I read that little small excerpt from the report in 2020, here are some of the benefits. And I don't want this to just be focused on XRPL, but I want you guys to see that this is an example of how many big behemoths are partnering with cryptocurrency projects, and this is a prime example. So just some of the benefits. I'm not going to read these all, and then I'm a wrap. Enhanced financial integration. You can settle transactions in real time, reducing the fees. You incentivize both parties, so it's cheaper, it's faster, people can get access to their money, right? This helps everybody. You got reduced dependence on middlemen, intermediaries. So we're talking about banks and financial institutions. You won't need them when you have smart contracts, when you have trade finance, and you're doing this all atomically, instantly. You have blockchain-based identity and security. More secure transactions mean everything when you're dealing with money. People always want to make sure their money is secured. So BRICS already knows where they're potentially going to go. They know where their money is going to go. It's going to be transacted on the XRP ledger. All right. Innovation ecosystem. On the XRPL, it's open source, decentralized. Anybody can build projects on it. Hello. You're not subjected to one party controlling everything. And then you have promotion of multipolarity. So this one, when you embrace blockchain technology, it reduces the influence of traditional means in other member states, other countries and governments, and it allows everybody to have a level playing field. So that's one thing you guys are always going to hear. If you pay close attention to when these big names speak, they're always going to mention, let's level the playing field. This is what they mean. They want the control to be leveled out. They don't want one country or one person to have sheer dominance like the US has had over everybody else for so many years. So guys, I know that was a lot of data, but I wanted to show you guys in real time how many opportunities exist around you, how many ways you guys can make money in this space. And you have to pay attention, because if you're not paying attention, you're going to miss it every single time. Every time. All right. So that's my mic drop. Anybody got anything? Anybody want to add any questions?
Yeah, I have a few questions.
Talk to me.
All right. In terms of ERC20 tokens, and with Ethereum, of course, what do you think is going to be the issue with, like, other ERC20 tokens? Like, if Ethereum is not, like, since Ethereum is not sustainable long term, do you think the other ERC20 tokens are gonna pivot away?
Absolutely.
And if they do pivot away, what happens to the token when you store them? Does that make sense? Like,
Yeah,
how does that
absolutely. Yeah, no, I'm tracking. That's actually a great question. First things first, yes, they are going to move away from Ethereum, right? And I'm calling this now. I'm letting you guys know. Steve knows how I feel about Ethereum. There was the benefit of Ethereum was smart contracts, right? And I'm gonna keep this short and sweet. But the benefit of Ethereum was smart contracts, the ability to preload instructions and have two parties have everything they need met without having to go through all the legalities and all the nonsense, right? So smart contracts was a huge value add. So it made it to where everybody could make their projects on top of the Ethereum blockchain and everybody be able to transact. Now that you have that ERC20 coding, right? That's the ecosystem. All of the Ethereum projects are all on that ecosystem. But what happens if the ecosystem shuts down? Or if they see, just like Ethereum, that there's problems in the infrastructure, or they see that it's easily controlled or manipulated, or that millions of transactions fail frequently. Not just like 1 month here, next month, 5 months later, a year later. No, we're talking about back to back to back to back. So when these companies who've already built their projects on top of this layer, they say, okay, maybe this wasn't the best course of action. So what they did was they have APIs, right? With the APIs, you have the EVM, the Ethereum virtual machine. That is going to allow for interoperability. That's going to allow projects that are built on one platform or one ecosystem to move simultaneously and go somewhere else. You can literally port your project onto another blockchain and then be a part of that ecosystem. That's through side bridges and side chains, right? Super technical, but that's the easiest way to make it, relatable. They're creating highways where people can transact from here and get here. And then you don't have any flaws that happen with your coin itself. You just have interoperability. You're able to transact on different chains.
Okay. One last question, actually. So just to add on that, they have the EVM, they move over, and then are you still gonna need ETH for gas fees? Do you think the gas fees might go down?
So
Up in the air. I'm just asking. I don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know yet. You know what I mean?
Right. So here's my oracle hat. So I feel like this is how things are gonna go. Ethereum and Bitcoin both got the free pass. So we're right now, they are not safe, right? And when I say they're not safe, I mean that they're not safe from scrutiny from the SEC and these other regulatory bodies, right? So I feel like what's going to happen is, I told you guys, 99% of projects are going to die. So when that happens, in order for that to happen, that's a what? Black Swan event, right?
Yeah.
Think about it. Who has the most projects in their ecosystem?
Ethereum.
Ethereum.
Yes.
So think about it. If something was to happen to the entire ecosystem of Ethereum, that is the majority of cryptocurrency projects. They vanish.
Okay.
So when they vanish, here's your options, right? So let's say Ethereum goes away, and this is hypothetical, but let's say Ethereum goes away. If Ethereum was to go away, there has to be a pivot. So either the projects itself have to have the means to be able to port their systems, their consensus mechanisms, all of that good stuff, right? To move over to another chain, in another blockchain, or you simply die. Because if you can't port, if you can't move to another ecosystem, what happens when Ethereum dies? You die with it.
Yeah.
And a lot of these projects don't have the capital to flow through it. That's why we tell you guys the next stage that we're about to get into is tokenization. But on top of all of that, it's just real world utility. So this next run is all utility bull run. So all of these projects that don't do anything, they solve no problems. They just exist. They're like money grabs. They're all going to die off because there's no need for them. So that's what we want to get you guys to understand. So it's not just solely about getting into crypto and just saying, okay, I'm in crypto. Nah, you have to have both feet in here. You got to understand how this works, because one, the simplest thing, which is top layer, is once you buy your crypto, how to protect it. But then you also have to figure out, all right, once I protect it, what happens if this exchange shuts down? How do I transact? What resource do I have to use to be able to find another exchange who has this coin that I can use that exchange, right? And what's going to happen is they're going to start pricing people out. So if you're not here, you're just going to miss the opportunity, period, on top of that. But then if you get in and you're not surrounded by people like Steve and I, you're just going to be lost. Or if you're a person that doesn't do any research, you're just going to be lost. And that's why we empower you guys. We put these documents in front of you. We break down high-level info. Steve tells you guys stuff like, don't be dumb. He's not insulting you. He's telling you seriously, with love, don't be dumb. Because people might miss it, and it's clear as day. There's going to be a lot of projects that people are investing in. They're only chasing green candles. They just want to dive in, and it's corny. It's like, yeah, everybody wants money. This is why we're here in cryptocurrency. You want money, but you also want to be a part of something that's going to change the world. It's going to change the way everybody transacts. So if you're in early and you're investing in the right projects, the right utility projects that solve problems, you are going to be light years ahead of everybody else, and you're going to get the God candle when it happens because you're early. So yeah, you can still play. You know, this is a very fun space. I can tell you that now. There's going to be a lot of times when people can make a lot of money in here. You can get hurt, you can get wrecked and lose a lot of money. So it's a playground nonetheless. But for the most part, you always want to make sure you stake your claim in the projects that have real utility, that solve real problems. Those are your long-term holds, right? And you make your own assessment, but you figure out what works best for you. So when it happens, you're rewarded. Whether it's for you, it's for your children, it's for whomever, right? You've done your part. You've invested in something early, and you knew you had the data points, you did the research, you put in the work. Now, everything else outside of that, that's your play money. If you want to play, you want to gamble, and you want to do things like, invest in meme coins or quick pump and dumps and things like that, we give you spot calls all the time, even in the VIP. I've seen, this is like the dopest strategy to me ever. We'll give you a project, right? We'll tell you, make sure you do your own research, but we're telling you that this is a spot. Myself, let me speak for myself. I'll give you guys a spot, and I'll say, hey, This is what this is. This is what it does. This is the current price. You know what to do, right? So everybody who took the boot camp, you know exactly where this cryptocurrency coin is at, and you know where you can get it from. Whether you act upon that and actually execute, that's on you. But I've seen us give spots. I've seen people invest. I've seen them take the money and the profits that they've made from our spot call. One, that pays for your VIP membership for the whole year. I've seen it countless times. Two, I've seen people take the profits because we're constantly giving spots and we're about to turn it up. Take those profits, you turn right around, and then you buy more long-term holds. You plus up your bags. So now you putting yourself in a position where, like the people who was doing it back in 2009, when they was buying Bitcoin at 6,000 of a penny, they waited a couple years, they held their bags, $20,000 Bitcoin. Now we went all the way up to $70,000 Bitcoin. Think about that. 0.006 all the way to almost $70,000. $100 would have set you for life. That's why we do what we do. That's why we tell you these opportunities come and they're here, but people just don't pay attention enough to position themselves properly. So if you do what you're supposed to do and you take those profits and execute, it's no-brainers. Because the world is moving. They doing what they're going to do. So in the next, this is what, 2023, 2025, we're going to by 2025, we're going to get another appreciation. We're going to get another shot, right? And then 2030, that's mass adoption. That's when the rest of the world is going to be in. Blockchain is going to be solidified. All these companies are going to have their assets tokenized and everything is going to be free flowing. That's the maturity of the market. And everybody else is just priced out. So if you don't act now and get in while you can and while you have access to these coins and exchanges, you're just going to be lost. You're going to be a person who's just a user. You're not going to be able to profit like everybody else. And that's a fact. That's a fact. Stone cold fact. Any other questions?
Hey, brother, how do you store those coins in a ledger wallet if it's not supported?
So you have to, so here's what you do. And I'm gonna give you the short and sweet because this is part of the boot camp. But here's the thing: if you have a cold storage wallet, let's say Ledger. Ledger is the top notable cold storage wallet. It gives you a list of all the coins. If your coin itself is not supported, what they do is they give you a third party that you can utilize. I don't recommend, Steve does not recommend you do that. What you do is you go find another cold storage wallet who does support it. I'll give you an example. Ethereum, right? Like I said, all the projects that are under Ethereum, ERC20s. So let's say you had Shiba Inu, right? But Shiba Inu itself wasn't supported by Ledger. Because it's an ERC20, as long as you have Ethereum wallet on your cold storage wallet, you can still save those assets under that Ethereum address. You would send them from whatever exchange it's on, you would send it to your Ethereum address on that ledger, and it would show you, once you log on to your desktop, your Ledger Live app, you would be able to see it. It would say Ethereum, and then once you click the drop down, you'll see Shiba Inu and whatever quantity of coins that you have. So all coins aren't supported is what I basically want to get you to understand. All coins aren't supported by Ledger, but there's other cold storage wallets itself that you can purchase that will support certain coins. And I know in the comments somebody mentioned Ledger doesn't support VeChain. So you have to go purchase another cold storage wallet who does support VeChain, and you can store it right on that cold storage. That's why we always teach you guys to have more than one cold storage wallet. Don't just stick with Ledger. There's a multitude of them, and we made sure we laid them out inside the boot camp.
Perfect. Thank you, brother.
Yes, sir. Anytime. Appreciate it. Good question. Anybody else?
Yeah, I know you had just piggyback off of that conversation with the cold storage wallets.
Mhm.
Well, one question for sure is the ones that you had listed out, I guess in the boot camp, you guys have those specifically, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay. I have the ledger and I got the decent one just recently.
Yep.
I got a lot of coins in different places, and I know that there's a lot of spots that don't support them. So I've done the third party, and I know, like you said, you advise against that. So I'm just trying, and I don't know if I'm missing the research part of it or what, but I'm trying to find out which tokens I can bring over onto these other cold storage wallets. Like for example, you know, I have a coin, I don't know, it's called Equilibrium. I think that's what it's called. No, or Greyhound. Greyhound is the one I got. And I have that and I have a bunch of it from just doing like airdrops or whatever. So I
Mhm.
don't want to just get rid of it. I was just like, let me just hold it on one of the cold storage wallets that I got. But I don't know why I'm having a difficulty finding how I can get that specific coin, for example, onto one of these cold storages.
What ecosystem is that Greyhound coin a part of?
I haven't done it in a minute, so I can't even remember. But yeah, I'm not sure off the top of my head right now.
Yeah, it's all good. Just hit me in the Discord and we'll discuss it because that's a good learning video. I'll probably shoot something for that just so everybody can get that additional value add. The thing with that is what you want to do is if you're ever given, because I myself, I like to be positioned in XRP, right? XRP is one of my favorite tokens. So just by holding XRP, they've had a multitude of airdrops. What I do is there's different wallets that you utilize to hold and support those airdrops. After you finish, then you will be able to store them on after you finish receiving all the airdrops or whatever. Sometimes they'll tell you, okay, this is supported on Bifrost wallet or on the Zoom wallet, or you can hold it here. They'll tell you where the coin is supported. So first things first, I would go back to figure out what ecosystem that coin is a part of. Two, I would look and see who actually supports this particular coin. And 9 times out of 10, they're going to tell you. If they don't tell you, then that's when you have an issue. But 9 times out of 10, these projects, they have to have somewhere for you to store it, whether it's a cold storage or it's a hot wallet. They're going to tell you a place. And even if it's a hot wallet, I personally, I have hot wallets that I use. Bifrost is one of those hot wallets, right? And the reason I use that is because I stake. Now, we tell you guys that we don't want you guys to stake. The reason is because these protocols aren't safe. So you guys might not have the same risk tolerance that I have, right? Or that Steve has. So it's more of a protection thing. It's not to keep you guys out. It's just we know if this is an airdrop, as long as my initial asset that I got the airdrop based off is secured and that's on the ledger, I'm good. Everything else that comes from that, all those airdrops and things like that, I can leave them on a hot wallet and stake them. I can grow my bag from that. And if other places announce later that they have support for that, then that's cool. But if they don't, I'm fine with whatever happens to it because my initial assets are tucked away. I didn't use money to buy that. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah, I definitely see what you're getting now because a lot of the coins that I'm talking about, I've acquired from airdrops from, off the Zoom wallet and all that.
Yeah,
So I have them just chilling on there, and I'm like, all right, I know the exchanges aren't the safest thing, so all right, let me figure out how to get this on my cold storage wallets. But
absolutely.
I see what you're saying. If it's like money that I just already, free money pretty much, then I guess it's not too much to worry about. But I guess I'm getting greedy.
Yeah, no, but those are viable questions because other people on the call, they might not even think to ask that because everybody might not be involved in airdrops. So when you think about stuff like that, so this is for you specifically. Holding XRP allowed other airdrops to come to you. Songbird, Flare, just Evers, ELS. There's so many, right? When you were receiving those airdrops, 9 times out of 10, you will be able to store them on Sologenics wallet. So if you don't have Sologenics wallet, download it, create a address. Once you create the address, you're going to have to pre-fund it with XRP. It'll open up, it'll allow, now make that address live, and then you'll be able to transact and send the coins there, and you can hold it.
On the Sologenic wallet.
On the Sologenic.
Okay. Yeah, because I definitely got some because of, like I said, all the airdrops or whatever from the XRP, I got involved with that. So I got that set up too.
Absolutely.
But I was, yeah, I don't know. Once you said I got nervous once you mentioned about keeping everything off the hot wallets and off the exchanges. I just like, I guess a certain fear hit me, and I was just like, I got all this stuff in all these places. I got to get them off there somehow, some way, ASAP, before I end up crying in the corner or something.
Yeah, no, I mean, self-custody, that's it, man. You know how we feel about that. So we always tell you guys, make sure that you're protecting your assets. And that's one thing to also consider, is like when you're trying to purchase a project or invest in something, you have to know, can you store it somewhere, especially if it's a spot, because I'm responsible for spots. So me giving you guys spots, it's not always for you to have for long term. Sometimes I'm just giving you a play, and that's VIP. But I'll we tell you guys exactly, hey, this is a play, short term, whatever. Get in, get out, do what you do, rotate your profits. We don't tell you how to move. We just present the opportunities to you. You know what I mean? So that is key. Everybody has to know that. Anybody that's on this call, anybody watching this, once you start getting into these projects, you're going to start getting into some super, super muddy waters, and you just got to know how to navigate. You know what I mean? You're not always going to have a cold storage wallet that supports the token, because it might not have a whole lot of volume going through it. It may be a new token, right? It could have just launched, and we're putting you on to something fast. So what you do is position yourself, purchase whatever, watch it boom, get out as fast as you can, secure those profits. Now, once you secure those profits, you're in a stable coin, and you take that stable coin and then you buy, long-term projects, buy some more Bitcoin, buy some Ethereum, buy some XRP, buy whatever it is that you deem necessary that you want to hold for a long time. And in that way, you've used a spot call to fund and plus up your bags. It's all about strategy, man. All about strategy. That's what this is about.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, no doubt. So, I didn't mention this on the call. I didn't mention this earlier. I was sitting here looking at something. So, HSBC, they estimated 5 to 10% of assets will be tokenized by 2030. I did the math, right? Just based on total amount of assets that exist currently, that's on record. 5 to 10% is 19.5 trillion. 19.5 trillion. So again, we only did 3 trillion. Do y'all understand what's about to happen? It's a lot of money, man. It's a lot of money that's about to be made. And I know I'm on the right side of things. I got a number that I set. My wife knows it. Steve knows it. And it's a couple people I might have shared just through passion, right? Just explaining something. But there's a number that I got. My number, I know I'm going to get to it. And my number, it's a number. It's in the hundreds.
Can you even pronounce it?
It's in 100. Listen, it's in the hundreds of millions. I don't even care to be a billionaire. I don't care about a title. I just know that I have a plan. I know what I want to do once I get the money, right? Once I get the money, I'm going to turn up 1,000,000 times more. There's going to be so many people that I help, so many people I put in position. And it's going to be an ecosystem of people who are all eating. Everybody is eating. Nobody's starving. Everybody is going to be rugged and rich and wealthy. And we're going to keep building ecosystems. We're going to keep navigating and keep plussing that bag up. while we continue to help more people. So I had to sit down with myself, and this is something insightful for everybody to do on this call, right? We all say we want money, right? Money is not everything. And it's a double-edged sword. So you have to be prepared for what you ask for. But once you prepare yourself for what you actually ask for, you have to factor in what are you going to do with the money once you get it. Because right now, we got the dollar, but who's to say the dollar going to be around by 2030, by 2028? What if that happens? What if the dollar just completely no longer exists? Everything is digital. Everything is crypto-based. Everything is wallets. Everything is QR codes and taps and all of this stuff. When you see how crazy that could be for somebody who is older, who didn't take the time to sit with themselves and say, damn, I never even took that into consideration. All they know is fiat. All they know is paper money. It's a piece of paper, man. That's it, with ink on it. With somebody that passed away. That's it. So imagine when crypto pops. What you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What's your next move? You gonna cash it out into what? Because fiat might not exist. So where's going? So that's why we're telling y'all, when you get into this crypto stuff, like you really got to understand, like, there's questions that you got to ask yourself. This ain't just all fun and games. This is like real life, and it's gonna affect you. It's gonna impact you and your family. I know right now, my son has a cold storage wallet. My wife has a cold storage wallet. My son is 13 years old. I right now have him positioned. He has his own crypto bag. My wife, she has no clue what to do with cryptocurrency. But you know what we know who does? I do. And if something ever happened to me, you know who's her go-to? Steve. That's it. She said, yo, Steve, how I do this? And then on top of that, like, she don't know it, but she knows it. She knows how passionate I am. She's going to be taking the boot camp as well. She's going to run right through the same gamut. But she knows what things are. She hears the conversations. She's listening upstairs right now. She can hear me. And she always does this. She's like, oh, yeah, you did good on the call. Oh, yeah, you could have did better on this. Or you could have drove this point home. Like, she hears me. She may not always join the calls, but she hears me. So I say all that to say, like, nobody is exempt. I even show Ashton, I show my son how you can move crypto from point A to point B. I've had him purchase crypto on Coinbase from my phone and use other exchanges. I've had him do it on his own. So if he's 13 years old, there's no reason why no adult should be exempt from this skill set. And what's even crazier, that's just spots. Wait until futures pops. It's people making tens of thousands every single day trading futures, trading whether crypto is going to go up or down. These exchanges are getting shut down left and right. But the ones that are here that people can use, I'm seeing people use these exchanges to the best of their ability, and they killing it. Crypto Cliff, I just shouted him out. So he's that's the other part. You guys watched the call. I mean, you watched the video we played at the beginning of the call. So Crypto Cliff, he's known for this. So he'll post his win cards, but he's posting his win cards for everybody to see. It's not like an internal, just solely with an internal group. He's posting this on social media. And I'm seeing people looking in the comments. I'm seeing people looking in amazement. They're like, oh my goodness, this is insane. But this has been here. We've been telling you guys this has been here. These future talks and all this. This is why I'm so passionate, right? I'm gonna keep it all the way tall with y'all. The reason I'm so passionate about this is I've seen life-changing money happen like that. From spots, just getting into crypto, putting your money in the right place, and it bam. The only thing you have to do is know what your next move is. When you see it appreciate like that, That's when you have to have that one-on-one with yourself and you got to figure out, okay, this is real. In order for me to lock this in and for this to be my money, I have to make a decision right now. Do I ride this out? Do I secure profits? Do I completely sell it all? Do I sell some? Like, that's it. That's when you get into your exit strategy. And we go over those on our Sunday strategy Sunday calls. You know what I mean? So that's for our VIP members. So if you ain't in the VIP, you're playing yourself. Because I'm telling you, if you don't know what you're doing, and that's a shameless plug, but I don't care. The reason I'm telling you guys this is because you have to understand there's something you have to do outside of just watching your portfolio grow. I can show you $1 million right now on a portfolio. I could show you 3 million on a portfolio. I could show you 5 million on a portfolio. But if I have no clue what to do, you're just looking at numbers and you still gonna have lint in your pockets because you ain't secure nothing. Right? Now, if it's in a stable coin, that's a different story, right? But what happens if they attack stable coins? We already told you stable coins is under attack. They about to bring in regulations. What happens? What happens when they shake up Tether? What happens when they shake up USDC? Right? What happens? What you gonna do? You scared? You gonna run and hide? You gonna let them take your money? Are you gonna move it somewhere? Right? Are you gonna be able to move it anywhere? We already told you about choke point 2.0. What is your play? Because after all the dust settles, all the smoke clears, eventually people are going to be priced out. And those coins right now that are 5 cent, 50 cent, 20 cent, $1, they're going to be $10,000, $20,000. They're going to be $1,500. The same coins that Bitcoin was when Bitcoin was 6 thousandths of a penny. That's the opportunity you guys are faced with right now. And I promise you, after this, that's it. That's it. I'm not gonna drag this out. I'm gonna let y'all enjoy the rest of y'all evening. I told y'all at the beginning of the call, I want y'all to sit with this. The reason I even am saying this to you is because, one, I care. I truly care. I'm that passionate. I really care. I want everybody on this call to be multimillionaires. If you're prepared for it. But you have to ask yourself, what's my plan? What's my play? What's next? Because the project that you invest in today could very well be worth 100,000, 10,000, 5,000, 1,000, 100. And these coins are less than $1, some less than a penny, some less than $100. And they're solving real world problems. And I'm showing you HSBC estimated 5 to 10% of the assets in the world are going to be tokenized by 2030, and it's 19.5 trillion. 5 to 10, we just getting started. But they going to make it rough. So either you're going to seize the opportunity or you're going to sit on your hands. The choice is yours. And on that note, mic drop. That was episode 37. Why it's important to be properly positioned in crypto. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Anybody who needs any additional links or anything, hit the Discord. We're going to make sure we have it for you, and the playback will be available for you guys. If you guys don't have anything else, peace and love. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Let's go, Barbara. Bull Run ready. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Enjoy that trip. Enjoy that trip as well.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Yo, I'm out of here, y'all. Peace and love. Peace and love. Peace and love.
Peace.
Appreciate y'all. Kiss them babies, man. I hope I ain't swear. I hope I ain't have no curse words on the call. You know what I mean? Kiss all them babies for me.